I include the book of Job here um, after the whole chronological sequence because he doesn't really fit into the chronology of the rest of Scripture. The book is quite old. The structure of the Hebrew has various points, although you can make various determinations between the narrative and the poetic portions, perhaps. But if we're looking at the character of Job himself, various traditions point to him living around uh, just before Moses. Maybe when Moses was a very young man. Job was a descendant of Esau and lived in Edom. And so if you were to insert it in a, so to speak, chronological place, you'd have to put it between Genesis and Exodus, but that doesn't really, it doesn't contribute anything to the chronological narrative. And so, especially since it's a lesson for people of all ages and a type of Christ, I put it here between the Old and New Testaments. This is not a Bible study. Episode 45, Job. There was a man in the land of Hus, whose name was Job, and that man was simple and upright, and fearing God and avoiding evil. And there were born to him 7 sons and 3 daughters. And his possession was 7,000 sheep, and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she-asses, and a family exceedingly great. And this man was great among all the people of the east. And his sons went and made a feast by houses, every one in his day. And sending, they called their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. And when the days of their feasting were gone about, Job sent to them and sanctified them, and rising up early offered holocaust for every one of them. For he said, Lest perhaps my sons have sinned, and have blessed God in their hearts. So did Job all days. Another note here, in the book of Job, we come up with the phrase of blessing God as a euphemism for cursing God. The idea being that even the idea of cursing God was so beyond the pale that they say instead blessing God, but to be understood here is cursing him. Now, on a certain day when the sons of God came to stand before the Lord, Satan also was present among them. And the Lord said to him, From where have you come? And he answered and said, I have gone round about the earth and walked through it. And the Lord said to him, Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a simple and upright man, and fearing God and avoiding evil? And Satan answering said, Does Job fear God in vain? Have you not made a fence for him and his house and all his substance round about? Blessed the works of his hands, and his possession has increased on the earth. But stretch forth your hand a little, and touch all that he has, and see if he does not bless you to your face. Now, on a certain day, when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the house of their eldest brother, there came a messenger to Job and said, The oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabaeans rushed in, and took all away, and slew the servants with the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you. And while he was yet speaking, another came and said, The fire of God fell from heaven, and striking the sheep and the servants, has consumed them, and I alone have escaped to tell you. And while he was also yet speaking, there came another and said, The Chaldeans made 3 troops, and have fallen upon the camels and taken them, Moreover, they have slain the servants with the sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you." He was yet speaking, and behold, another came in and said, "Your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the house of their eldest brother. A violent wind came on a sudden from the side of the desert, and shook the four corners of the house, and it fell upon your children, and they are dead, and I alone have escaped to tell you." Then Job rose up and rent his garments, and having shaven his head, fell down upon the ground and worshipped, and said, "Naked I came out of my mother's womb, and naked I shall return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. As it has pleased the Lord, so is it done. Blessed be the name of the Lord." In all these things Job did not sin by his lips, nor did he speak any foolish thing against God. And it came to pass, when on a certain day the sons of God came and stood before the Lord, and Satan came among them and stood in his sight, that the Lord said to Satan, "From where have you come?" And he answered and said, "I have gone round about the earth and walked through it." And the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a man simple and upright and fearing God, and avoiding evil, and still keeping his innocence? But you have moved me against him, that I should afflict him without cause." And Satan answered and said, "Skin for skin, and all that a man has he will give for his life. But put forth your hand and touch his bone and his flesh, and then you shall see that he will bless you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, he is in your hand, but yet save his life." So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord, and struck Job with a very grievous ulcer, from the sole of the foot even to the top of his head. And he took a potsherd, and scraped the corrupt matter, sitting on a dunghill. And his wife said to him, "Do you still continue in your simplicity? Bless God and die." And he said to her, "You have spoken like one of the foolish women. If we have received good things at the hand of God, why should we not receive evil?" In all these things Job did not sin with his lips. Now when Job's 3 friends heard all the evil that had befallen him, they came every one from his own place, Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Suhite, and Zophar the Naamathite. For they had made an appointment to come together and visit him and comfort him. And when they had lifted up their eyes afar off, they did not know him, and crying out they wept, and rending their garments, they sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven. And they sat with him on the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and no man spoke to him a word, for they saw that his grief was very great. After this, Job opened his mouth and cursed his day, and he said, "Let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, a man-child is conceived. Let that day be turned into darkness. Let not God regard it from above, and let not the light shine upon it. Let darkness and the shadow of death cover it. Let a mist overspread it, and let it be wrapped up in bitterness. Let a darksome whirlwind seize upon that night. Let it not be counted in the days of the year, nor numbered in the months. Let that night be solitary, and not worthy of praise. Let them curse it who curse the day, who are ready to raise up a Leviathan. Let the stars be darkened with its mist. Let it expect light and not see it, nor the rising of the dawning of the day. Because it did not shut up the doors of the womb that bore me, nor took away evils from my eyes. Why did I not die in the womb? Why did I not perish when I came out of the belly? Why received upon the knees? Why suckled at the breasts? For now I should have been asleep and still, and should have rest in my sleep, with kings and consuls of the earth, who build themselves solitudes, or with princes that possess gold, and fill their houses with silver. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, If we begin to speak to you, perhaps you will take it ill, but who can withhold the words he has conceived? Behold, you have taught many, and you have strengthened the weary hands. Your words have confirmed them that were staggering, and you have strengthened the trembling knees. But now the scourge has come upon you, and you faint. It has touched you, and you are troubled. Where is your fear, your fortitude, your patience, and the perfection of your ways? Remember, I pray you, whoever perished being innocent, or when were the just destroyed? On the contrary, I have seen those who work iniquity, and sow sorrows, and reap them, perishing by the blast of God, and consumed by the spirit of his wrath. The roaring of the lion and the voice of the lioness, and the teeth of the whelps of lions are broken. The tigers perished for want of prey, and the young lions are scattered abroad. Now there was a word spoken to me in private, and my ears by stealth, as it were, receive the veins of its whisper. In the horror of a vision by night, when deep sleep is wont to hold men, fear seized upon me in trembling, and all my bones were affrighted. And when a spirit passed before me, the hair of my flesh stood up. There stood one whose countenance I did not know, an image before my eyes, and I heard the voice as it were of a gentle wind. Shall man be justified in comparison of God, or shall a man be more pure than his Maker? Behold, they that serve him are not steadfast, and in his angels he found wickedness. But Job answered and said, O that my sins whereby I have deserved wrath, and the calamity that I suffer were weighed in a balance. As the sand of the sea, this would appear heavier. Therefore my words are full of sorrow. For the arrows of the Lord are in me, the rage whereof drinks up my spirit, and the terrors of the Lord war against me. Will the wild ass bray when he has grass, or will the ox low when he stands before a full manger? Or can an unsavory thing be eaten that is not seasoned with salt, or can a man taste that which when tasted brings death? The things which before my soul would not touch, now through anguish are my food. Who will grant that my request may come, and that God may give me what I look for, and that he that has begun may destroy me, that he may let loose his hand and cut me off, and that this may be my comfort, that afflicting me with sorrow, he spare not, nor I contradict the words of the Holy One. For what is my strength that I can hold out? Or what is my end that I should keep patience? My strength is not the strength of stones, nor is my flesh of brass. Behold, there is no help for me in myself, and my familiar friends also are departed from me. The life of man upon earth is a warfare, and his days are like the days of a hireling. As a servant longs for the shade, as the hireling looks for the end of his work, so I also have had empty mouths, and have numbered to myself wearisome nights. If I lie down to sleep, I shall say, When shall I rise? And again I shall look for the evening, and shall be filled with sorrows even till darkness. My flesh is clothed with rottenness and the filth of dust. My skin is withered and drawn together. My days have passed more swiftly than the web is cut by the weaver, and are consumed without any hope. Remember that my life is but wind, and my eye shall not return to see good things. Nor shall the sight of man behold me. Your eyes are upon me, and I shall be no more. As a cloud is consumed and passes away, so he that shall go down to hell shall not come up. Nor shall he return any more into his house, neither shall his place know him any more. Wherefore I will not spare my month. I will speak in the affliction of my spirit. I will talk with the bitterness of my soul. Am I a sea or a whale that you have enclosed me in a prison? I've done with hope. I shall now live no longer. Spare me, for my days are nothing. What is a man that you should magnify him? Or why do you set your heart upon him? You visit him early in the morning, and you prove him suddenly. How long will you not spare me, nor suffer me to swallow down my spittle? I have sinned. What shall I do to you, O keeper of men? Why have you set me opposite to you, and am I become burdensome to myself? Why do you not remove my sin, and why do you not take away my iniquity? Behold, now I shall sleep in the dust, and if you seek me in the morning, I shall not be. And Job answered and said, Indeed, I know it is so, and that man cannot be justified compared with God. If he will contend with him, he cannot answer him 1 for 1,000. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who has resisted him and has had peace? Who has removed mountains, and they whom he overthrew in his wrath knew it not? Who shakes the earth out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble? Who commands the sun, and it rises not, and shuts up the stars as it were under a seal? Who alone spreads out the heavens, and walks upon the waves of the sea? Who makes Arcturus and Orion, and Hyades in the inner parts of the south? Who does things great and incomprehensible, and wonderful, of which there is no number? If he come to me, I shall not see him. If he depart, I shall not understand. If he examine on a sudden, who shall answer him? Or who can say, Why do you do so? God, whose wrath no man can resist, and under whom they stoop that bear up the world. What am I then, that I should answer him, and have words with him? I, who although I should have any just thing, would not answer, but would make supplication to my judge. And if he should hear me when I call, I should not believe that he had heard my voice. For he shall crush me in a whirlwind, and multiply my wounds even without cause. My soul is weary of my life. I will let go my speech against myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. I will say to God, Do not condemn me. Tell me why you judge me so. Does it seem good to you that you should calumniate me, and oppress me, the work of your own hands, and help the counsel of the wicked? Have you eyes of flesh, or shall you see as man sees? Are your days as the days of man, and are your years as the times of men, that you should inquire after my iniquity, and search after my sin, and should know that I have done no wicked thing, whereas there is no man that can deliver out of your hand? Your hands have made me and fashioned me wholly round about, and do you thus cast me down headlong on a sudden? Remember, I beseech you, that you have made me as the clay, and you will bring me into dust. Have you not milked me as milk, and curdled me like cheese? You have clothed me with skin and flesh. You have put me together with bones and sinews. You have granted me life and mercy, and your visitation has preserved my spirit. Call me, and I will answer you, or else I will speak, and you answer me. How many are my iniquities and sins? Make me know my crimes and offenses. Why do you hide your face, and think me your enemy? Against a leaf that is carried away with the wind, you show your power, and you pursue a dry straw. For you write bitter things against me, and will consume me for the sins of my youth. You have put my feet in the stocks, and have observed all my paths, and have considered the steps of my feet. Who am to be consumed as rottenness, and as a garment that is moth-eaten. Man, born of a woman living for a short time, is filled with many miseries. Who comes forth like a flower, and is destroyed and flees as a shadow, and never continues in the same state. And do you think it meet to open the eyes upon such a one, and to bring him into judgment with you? Who can make him clean that is conceived of unclean seed? Is it not you who alone are? The days of man are short, and the number of his months is with you. You have appointed his bounds which cannot be passed. Depart a little from him, that he may rest, until his wished-for day come as that of a hireling. Who will grant me this, that you may protect me in hell, and hide me till your wrath pass, and appoint me a time when you will remember me? Shall man that is dead, do you think, live again? All the days in which I am now in warfare, I expect until my change come. You shall call me, and I will answer you. To the work of your hands you shall reach out your right hand. You indeed have numbered my steps, but spare my sins. My spirit shall be wasted, my days shall be shortened, and only the grave remains for me. I have not sinned, and my eye abides in bitterness. Deliver me, O Lord, and set me beside you, and let any man's hand fight against me. Fear shall terrify him on every side, and shall entangle his feet. Let his strength be wasted with famine, and let hunger invade his ribs. Let it devour the beauty of his skin. Let the firstborn death consume his arms. Let his confidence be rooted out of his tabernacle, and let destruction tread upon him like a king. Let the companions of him that is not dwell in his tabernacle. Let brimstone be sprinkled in his tent. The flesh being consumed, my bone is cleaved to my skin. Nothing but lips are left about my teeth. Have pity on me, at least you, my friends, because the hand of the Lord has touched me. Why do you persecute me as God, and glut yourselves with my flesh? Who will grant me that my words may be written? Who will grant me that they may be marked down in a book, with an iron pin and in a plate of lead, or else be graven with an instrument in flint stone? For I know that my Redeemer lives, and in the last day I shall rise out of the earth, and I shall be clothed again with my skin, and in my flesh I shall see my God, whom I myself shall see, and my eyes shall behold, and not another. This is my hope laid up in my bosom. Job also added, taking up his parable, and said, As God lives, who has taken away my judgment, and the Almighty, who has brought my soul to bitterness, as long as breath remains in me, and the Spirit of God in my nostrils, my lips shall not speak iniquity, neither shall my tongue contrive lying. God forbid that I should judge you to be just. Till I die, I will not depart from my innocence. My justification, which I have begun to hold, I will not forsake, for my heart does not reprehend me in all my life. Let my enemy be as the ungodly, and my adversary as the wicked one. For what is the hope of the hypocrite, if through covetousness he take by violence, and God deliver not his soul? Will God hear his cry, when distress shall come upon him? Or can he delight himself in the Almighty, and call upon God at all times? I will teach you by the hand of God what the Almighty has, and I will not conceal it. Behold, you all know it, and why do you speak vain things without cause? This is the portion of a wicked man with God, and the inheritance of the violent, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his sons be multiplied, they shall be for the sword, and his grandsons shall not be filled with bread. They that shall remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. But where is wisdom to be found? And where is the place of understanding? Man does not know its price, neither is it found in the land of them that live in delights. The depth said, It is not in me, and the sea says, It is not with me. The finest gold shall not purchase it, neither shall silver be weighed in exchange for it. It shall not be compared with the dyed colors of India, or with the most precious stones, sardonyx, or the sapphire. Gold or crystal cannot equal it, neither shall any vessels of gold be changed for it. High and eminent things shall not be mentioned in comparison of it, but wisdom is drawn out of secret places. The topaz of Ethiopia shall not be equal to it, neither shall it be compared to the cleanest dyeing. Whence then comes wisdom, and where is the place of understanding? It is hid from the eyes of all living, and the fowls of the air do not know it. Destruction and death have said, with our ears we have heard its fame. God understands the way of it, and he knows its place. For he beholds the ends of the world, and looks at all things that are under heaven, who made a weight for the winds, and weighed the waters by measure, when he gave a law for the rain, and a way for the sounding storms. Then he sought and declared, and prepared and searched it. And he said to man, Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. I made a covenant with my eyes, that I would not so much as think upon a virgin. For what part should God from above have in me, and what inheritance the Almighty from on high? Is not destruction to the wicked, and aversion to them that work iniquity? Does not he consider my ways, and number all my steps? If I have walked in vanity, and my foot has made haste to deceit, let him weigh me in a just balance, and let God know my simplicity. If my step has turned out of the way, and if my heart has followed my eyes, and if a spot has cleaved to my hands, then let me sow and let another reap, and let my offspring be rooted out. If my heart has been deceived upon a woman, and if I have laid wait at my friend's door, let my wife be the harlot of another, and let other men lie with her. For this is a heinous crime, and a most grievous iniquity. It is a fire that devours even to destruction, and roots up all things that spring. If I have despised to abide judgment with my manservant, or my maidservant, when they had any controversy against me, for what shall I do when God shall rise to judge? And when he shall examine, what shall I answer him? Did not he that made me in the womb make him also? And did not one and the same form me in the womb? If I have denied to the poor what they desired, and have made the eyes of the widow wait, if I have eaten my morsel alone, and the father has not eaten it, for from my infancy mercy grew up with me, and it came out with me from my mother's womb. Then the Lord answered Job out of a whirlwind, and said, Who is this that wraps up sentences in unskilful words? Gird up your loins like a man. I will ask you, and you answer me. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who has laid the measures of it, if you know, or who has stretched the line upon it? Upon what are its bases grounded, or who laid the cornerstone of it? When the morning stars praised me together, and all the sons of God made a joyful melody, who shut up the sea with doors, when it broke forth as issuing out of the womb? When I made a cloud the garment thereof, and wrapped it in a mist as in swaddling bands. I set my bounds around it, and made it bars and doors. And I said, Hitherto you shall come and shall go no further, and here you shall break your swelling waves. Did you since your birth command the morning, and show the dawning of the day its place? And did you hold the extremities of the earth, shaking them? And have you shaken the ungodly out of it? The seal shall be restored as clay, and shall stand as a garment. From the wicked their light shall be taken away, and the high arm shall be broken. Have you entered into the depths of the sea, and walked in the lowest parts of the deep? Have the gates of death been opened to you, and have you seen the darksome doors? Have you considered the breadth of the earth? Tell me if you know all things. Where is the way where light dwells, and where is the place of darkness? That you may bring everything to its own bounds, and understand the paths of the house thereof. And the Lord answering Job out of the whirlwind said, Gird up your loins like a man. I will ask you, and you tell me. Will you make void my judgment, and condemn me that you may be justified? And have you an arm like God? And can you thunder with a voice like him? Clothe yourself with beauty, and set yourself up on high, and be glorious, and put on goodly garments. Scatter the proud in your indignation, and behold every arrogant man, and humble him. Look on all that are proud, and confound them, and crush the wicked in their place. Hide them in the dust together, and plunge their faces into the pit. Then I will confess that your right hand is able to save you. Behold Behemoth, whom I made with you. He eats grass like an ox. His strength is in his loins, and his force in the navel of his belly. He sets up his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his testicles are wrapped together. Then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that you can do all things, and no thought is hid from you. Who is this that hides counsel with knowledge? Therefore I have spoken unwisely, and things that above measure exceeded my knowledge. Hear, and I will speak. I will ask you, and you tell me. With the hearing of the ear I have heard you, but now my eye sees you. Therefore I reprehend myself, and do penance in dust and ashes. And after the Lord had spoken these words to Job, he said to Eliphaz the Temanite, My wrath is kindled against you and against your two friends, because you have not spoken the thing that is right before me, as my servant Job has. Take for yourself, therefore, 7 oxen and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job, and offer for yourselves a holocaust, and my servant Job shall pray for you. His face I will accept, that folly not be imputed to you, for you have not spoken right things before me, as my servant Job has. So Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Suhite, and Sophar the Naamathite went, and did as the Lord had spoken to them. And the Lord accepted the face of Job. The Lord also was turned at the penance of Job when he prayed for his friends. And the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. And all his brethren came to him, and all his sisters, and all that knew him before, and they ate bread with him in his house, and bemoaned him, and comforted him upon all the evil that God had brought upon him. And every man gave him 1 ewe, and 1 earring of gold. And the Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning. And he had 14,000 sheep, and 6,000 camels, and 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 she-asses. And he had 7 sons and 3 daughters. And he called the name of one Deus, and the name of the second Cassia, and the name of the third Cornustibi. And there was not found in all the earth women so beautiful as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them an inheritance among their brethren. And Job lived after these things 140 years, and he saw his children and his children's children unto the 4th generation, and he died an old man and full of days.